Lewis, a marketing manager for MetaStock. Thank you so much for joining us today for our live presentation by our very own Edward Stemplevich. Excuse me. Edward has been with our firm for almost a decade, and during that time, he's rose to be one of our consistently top performing sales representatives. And the reason he is that is not because he's, got all the sales techniques down, although those probably help, but because he consistently has good product knowledge. He knows how to answer questions. He's very professional. He's very responsive. And if you want to know more about MetaStock after this presentation, or actually interested in purchasing MetaStock or leasing MetaStock, he is the man you want to call. He's been with the company, like I say, for 10 years. And the only thing I can say on a personal note about Edward is, as I recall, he used to be an avid camping dude. Is that still correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just let it go with that. All right, Edward, I will get out of your way and break a leg, and don't forget the disclosure.
Yep, thank you. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about the all-new MetaStock 20. It's pretty exciting. It's a good upgrade. Well, we're going to go through that today. It will be a bit quicker of a webinar. I would say it will probably land anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So yeah, let's kind of get started and go through that. The first thing I do want to mention is save these details if you want to contact me. If you have any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be MetaStock 20 itself. But if you have questions about MetaStock in general, add-ons, training, or you just want to talk, feel free to contact me. You can call me. You can ask for me in our chat room. And you can also send me a direct email as well. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Before we get started on the new features, we do got to go through this lovely disclaimer here. This demonstration is designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and accompanying software plugins, and is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. MetaStock and its employees shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. MetaStock and its employees do not endorse the purchase of any security, nor is it paid for the promotion of any security. No information contained in this presentation should be construed as investment advice or a solicitation to buy any security. All right, always go through that good old disclaimer. So MetaStock 20 was recently released about a couple months ago now, in middle of November. I think it's been a big hit. I think some really good things have happened in the software for MetaStock 20. It's not quite as big as previous versions like 19. 19 was just a huge one. But MetaStock 20 has been great. I've been hearing great feedback from my clients, anyone that's upgraded. People have been loving it so far. These are kind of the things that we've done in MetaStock 20 that you see on the screen here. We've enhanced the Power Console. We've improved the chart functions. We've improved the QuoteCenter, OptionScope. We've also, for MetaStock RT users, we've integrated XENITH and MetaStock more together. So now we'll get to it, but basically you can open up news and stuff like that from within charts. I thought that was fantastic. We've also added Greg Moore's JCPR to MetaStock, which was a $400 add-on previously. That's now just thrown in there. So if you upgrade, you will have access to that as well. And then another big thing is MetaStock RT now has offline mode. I know that has been a big request over the years for users that trade intraday, use MetaStock RT, and just want access with their own local data. That is now available. Going forward, the first thing here that we're going to talk about is a pretty big one. I think this was one of the cooler things of the upgrade, is we've now gotten rid of the Power Console window. What that means is all those buttons, the chart, the QuoteCenter, the Explorer, all those things, they're now embedded into the software, the interface, you should say. So what's good about that is you don't get that floating window anymore. You don't have to click the P to get the floating window. And then the great thing is whenever you open up layouts, previously you would have to open up a Power Console per layout, and it just got kind of messy. This kind of cleaned things up a bit, just made it easier. And this is kind of what it looks like. I'll go ahead and open up MetaStock and just show you an actual example here. Let me get to MetaStock. Okay, so you can see immediately here, we no longer have the P in the top corner. We just have the tabs. And overall, it's, once you click on it, it opens up the tool itself, where you can easily do everything you need to, just like before, but it opens up the window to the side. Also, when you click away from them, it will minimize the tab there. So it just automatically does that for you. You can pin this as well, so it doesn't do that. There's a little pin up here that you click. What it's going to do is it's going to keep it there at all times. So if you prefer to have it open at all times, you can do that. When you do pin it, it is going to move the buttons to the bottom here. Another thing is you can actually customize where you put these things. You can, I moved the whole chart. You can move them to the left side if you want, or the right side. Didn't fully work. Oh, I guess I'm doing it incorrectly. I haven't used it too much yet. It's been very busy, but you can customize how you want the placement of those. You can have them at the bottom, on the side. I wonder if you right click. Let me try this. No. Hold on, I think right. Nope. But anyways, yeah, so those can be moved as well. The other thing you can do with these buttons is you can actually hide the words. So you can hide chart, QuoteCenter, Explorer, and those things, and you can show just the logo of the tools itself by clicking Tools, Options, and I know how to do this one. And then you can click Show Caption on Power Console tabs. And if you click that, and then there you go. You have just the logos there. We'll turn that back on. You can also make them bigger and stuff as well with further customizations, but we're going to have it turned on. So yeah, that's the first feature. We got rid of the Power Console. You can customize where these go on the screen. You can take away the words. You can have just the logos if you want, and kind of cleans everything up. Then when you open up layouts, you no longer need, I'll just open up this layout. Boom. Yeah, you don't need the Power Console. You have the buttons there. Just a lot easier to deal with. Let me close that one. I know. Okay. So that's the first feature there. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, and this goes over kind of everything we did do with the new Power Console. Let's make sure I went over everything. We removed the old window. It's enhanced. Container window for easier access. You can pin it. Basically, yeah, you can navigate much easier to the tools you need. Pin, Power Console icons can be displayed on that text, and then you can resize the Power Console panels when open. I guess I didn't show that, but you can resize them as well to whatever size you want there. So customizable. Perfect. The next thing we did is we basically added the option to simplify fractions, which that's important for futures traders. I'm not going to go in and show you how to do it. You just do it from the chart here, though. Double click on the access, and you have that option to simplify fractions. It automatically does it for you after you select that. So that's been asked from our futures traders, so that was a good thing. Oh, I didn't need to go back. QuoteCenter update. This was the next big thing, I think. One of my favorite things as well, I would say, because we've gotten rid of the Power Console and everything, we've added extra utility where you can actually apply the QuoteCenter to your charts and to your layouts, and you can save them as a part of the layout. The QuoteCenter, the overall updates to it though is you can adjust the size of it. Let me go ahead and just show you everything. Let me see. The big thing is you can save it to a layout. So I'm going to actually open up a chart here. We're going to go to the chart tab. Let's just open up Apple. Or you know what? No, we will open up QuoteCenter. So you click QuoteCenter, and let me open up one of my lists here. we'll do something small. Sample portfolio. Let's just do this one. Click that, open QuoteCenter. Okay, so this is the original QuoteCenter that typically you would see. It is tabbed up here. You can move it into a floating window, so that way you can move it on other monitors if you would like to, and then you can tab it as well. The other thing is you can resize it here once it's tabbed. There's a little compact view button right here. If you click on that, it actually shortens just gives you the tick, the symbol, and then the last price. And then you can, let me pull this out, hold on. Shorten that, then we'll redock that. Oh, that didn't. What am I doing here? All the settings. Don't know why. It's just full screen. Let's see. So anyways, when it's not full screen, you can basically just resize it like this. That's what you can do. And then you can open up charts side by side it. So we can open up this one, for example, and let's tab it in here. And it's still, hold on. Nope. I don't know why it's not resizing. What did I do wrong? Yeah, that's weird. But then when you can save it to your layout, and then you could just flip through the different charts basically, and it opens up all the charts that you want as a part of the tabs, and it's just much easier to keep up with your portfolio with the new additions they did, especially saving it as a layout already. So if you just have a watch list, your portfolio, whatever, save it as part of your layout, and you can open up the different charts within there. And again, you can have the bigger view or whatnot as you wish there. Let's see if there's what else here I'm missing. Oh, let me go back to this. Yeah, you can also pin it so that the QuoteCenter will stay pinned, of course. It has that same little pin button as the other tabs there. Has the compact mode, which I showed there, and then you can quickly cycle through your securities. That's a pretty big thing, though. I think we've been asked to have something like that for many years from our users. So overall, is a great enhancement to the software. The same exact thing you can do with OptionScope. So QuoteCenter and OptionScope you can save as a part of a layout, and yeah, basically have the same workflow. I'll go ahead and open up OptionScope here. I'll show you that. Click OptionScope down there. Let's go apl.o. Open up Apple here. And it's already tabbed here, but then you can open up other charts as well, and it'll basically tab over. You could also resize it and everything. You could attach it on one side or the other, just like the QuoteCenter really. And then you can be looking at charts plus the option strategies at the same time and flip through the different strategies and things like that, flipping through the different charts. And again, saving it as part of the layout, which was the huge thing there. The next big thing that we did is, which is one of my favorite things, is we've integrated XENITH with the MetaStock software a lot more, to where now you can actually open up news, company overview page, and things like that within the software, whatever chart you're looking at, and it'll automatically just open up inside MetaStock. Instead of navigating to XENITH, opening up the news portal, or going, using the other platform, you can open these things up right within MetaStock now, which I feel like this was one of my favorite features, because I do look at news whenever I'm trading. I like to pull up the news. I like to pull up a bunch of different things, company overview page, and just kind of check things out. Being able to do that inside MetaStock just kind of saved a lot of time. It streamlined things a lot more. It's made it overall much easier. I'll go ahead and show you an example of exactly how that looks. Let's close down OptionScope here, and we're just going to open up Apple. If you guys have any questions as well, feel free to ask. I'll answer any questions you have. I'm going over those question boxes. So, okay, so now we have Apple open up right here. At the bottom of the chart here, you can see the X here. This is the XENITH integration right here. We have news, quotes, quote history, monitor, company overview, and the economic monitor. If we open up news, it's going to pull up the news for Apple specifically. Let me see where it went. Okay, there it is. You can see right here, it just automatically pulls up the Apple News after selecting that button. And you can go through the stories. As you click onto it, you can start reading through, whatever it is about the story. The other one that's great is the company overview page. It's something that I always look at. If you have access to it, it's great to look at. So company overview page, pull that up, pulls everything up about Apple that you can check out. Then start going through the financials and whatever it is. We go ahead and close out of that. Close tab. And then again, if I change to, let's say, IBM, and I click news, or let's do the company overview page, it'll pull it up for IBM. So pretty neat feature. Again, the integration there makes things so much easier. Instead of having to navigate both software, you can pull it up right from within MetaStock and basically get a lot more information in front of you as you're locating your trades. So that was an awesome enhancement. I really love that one. Okay. Going forward here, let's see. And I know they're doing more too with all that as well in future updates. So it'll only continue to improve and get better. As far as the XENITH integration goes, yeah, you can open up the app. Oh, let's go back. From any open chart, you can launch corresponding app related to the symbol, like I showed you, the quote history, all those things that we went through. The other thing that we did with MetaStock was, as I mentioned earlier, is we added the Japanese candle pattern recognition by Greg Morris, which was a $400 add-on initially. It's actually quite an impressive system. Greg Morris is very well known in the fact that he had actually managed billions of dollars, and what he did is he created this system helping him manage that money. This is actually a system he used managing billions of dollars that he did. It provides support and resistance. It basically looks at candlestick patterns and support and resistance in the stochastic indicator, and it gives you a scoring method. It's also back testable as well. Greg Morris wrote this book about the strategy itself and kind of explained candlestick charting, which I would definitely advise you to pick it up if you're interested in his methodology. But you'll get all this. You'll get 3 indicators, 4 explorations, and a system test. You'll also get the expert advisor and then 2 templates, which is one with the clean chart and filtering indicators. These are the patterns that are included into the add-on itself. There's quite a bit, so I definitely wouldn't go over all of them, but they've got the engulfing, the Harami, Doji Star, things like that, advanced block, piercing lines. There will be some, of course, that you're familiar with, might be some that you're not familiar with, but it includes quite a bit of patterns, a part of the system. One second, I'm going to take a quick sip here. This screen right here shows kind of what one pattern statistically shows over time. I'm just going to take a sip. Mouth kind of gets dry after a while. So this pattern, for an example, is the matching low plus, MTL plus. That's the pattern named matching low plus. It's a bullish reversal pattern. So you got the plus there, reversal pattern. Japanese name is right here. I'm not going to pronounce that, but it's right there. It does require a trend. It does not require confirmation for this pattern. In all the testing that he did, he noticed the pattern basically 590 times throughout the the data points that he did back testing on. And then over those 590 days, what they did is they saw the performance day after day once the pattern happened. But it was initially it was watched on over 7,000 stocks with over 14.6 million days of data. It's a lot of data. And what that spat out was all the statistics right here. What we can see here is the percent of winners. It was 69% winning trades on day one. So 69% of those patterns that hit were winners on the first day. And then the longer you held the trade every day, you could see how many percentages of them were winners throughout the day. So the second day, 64%, then 62%, and 61%. Your average gain is right here, 3.63% on the first day, 4.71% on the second day, and you could just see kind of how the gain goes up over time. And then your losers, of course, and then your average losses, you minus the losses from the winners, and then you have your net profits and net losses there. That's kind of what that looks like. Going forward here, the patterns basically, what you do is you look for like a bullish reversal pattern near support with stochastics in oversold, and it gives you like a higher rating or better success rate basically. But it's going to show you the lines here, which are support and resistance lines. It'll automatically calculate those. And then it also incorporates a scoring system, which is actually it's a really cool scoring system. It's unique. It helps you gauge those opportunities much better and which ones to focus on. The other great thing is the commentary does have a lot of information about the system itself and the statistics and everything, so you can take a look at that. Here's some further information. Again, I mentioned that he uses the stochastic %D. He's looking for basically the bearish reversal patterns with the stochastic above 80 or bullish reversal patterns when the stochastic is below 20. And then it's automatically incorporated into the add-on, the filtering there. So this is further information that we already kind of discussed here. It automatically incorporates the scoring system into the system, and incorporates the price based on support and resistance on the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a chart. Let's go ahead and kind of go through the motion of this system. It's a pretty cool system. Let's see here. So we have IBM open right now. I'll go ahead and apply the Greg Morris system here. Greg Morris JCPR. Oh, it's under candlestick. That's right. Okay. Let's try a clean chart here. Alrighty, so you can see here that we have the support resistance automatically plotting here, which is great information. And it looks like there's already a trade happening here. But you can see the trades that have happened here. Let's apply the commentary. There we are. Okay. Oh, it's still loading here. Going back to the signal. I want to show you guys like the scoring and everything. And you can see here in the commentary, it kind of shows you where everything's at, percent from close, the resistance, the percent from the close again. The pattern was a separating lines, tells you when it happened, basically gives you information on that. It says the trend is bullish. Let's see if there's anything else. If I go a day forward here, no, okay. So now I'm going to show you guys kind of the scoring system. I'll do a quick scan for the different signals here and show you what the scoring system looks like there. So go into the Explorer tab here, type in JCPR. As far as the scanning goes, there are 4 of them. It's very straightforward. Basically, you have 2 scans for a bullish reversal and 2 scans for a bearish reversal. The F here indicates that you're applying the filter for the stochastics. So you know if you want that. But basically they're confirmed. So you have the patterns and then you have the confirmed, where the patterns will show you when the pattern happened, and then the confirmed is, if it's a confirmed trade to jump in, you can scan for just those. Let's go with this one here. Hold on, let's do this. Yeah, okay. With that, and then I'm going to go to just a quick list here, and we'll do a fast scan for you, and then we can go over the results page. Sample portfolio. You know what? I don't know if we'll get anything in that. Let's try. Hey, look, we did get one. You know what? I think I need the filtering one instead. That didn't show the scoring. Let me pull up the filtering one right here. So this wasn't, it's not a confirmed trade, so it didn't show. I'm actually going to run the scan on a little bit bigger of a list, and just until we see, let's do December checks, just until we see a signal that occurs here. Should be pretty quick. One other big thing that I do want to mention too is scanning within MetaStock 20. We did release a huge update that actually doubled the scanning speeds on daily charts. A huge improvement. If you're scanning daily charts, you might notice if you're not on MetaStock 20, the scans have slowed down significantly since the update, unfortunately, but we released a patch that helped that quite a bit. So I would absolutely recommend the upgrade, especially for that itself too. The scanning speeds got much better. Just waiting for one signal. I actually didn't prepare very well. Normally I'd have done this scan already before the webinar, but I was busy and didn't get to do all the preparing I wanted to, unfortunately. But we'll do it in real time. We can see everything's still rejected. And so it is pretty selective. I think that's really good. When you have something that gives you a lot of signals, I think it kind of complicates trading a little bit more. When you have something that's more selective, it simplifies it more. So I think it's good that we're not having any, confirmed signals yet, I would say. There we go. We got some here, so I'm going to cancel it now. And we have a couple here. So, okay. I don't know what I did wrong here. Normally there's a scoring system. I think I did the wrong scan once again, but ultimately, you have your buy signal, your sell signal. What we looked at was the sells, and then usually there's a scoring system. I'm gonna look at this one more time. Explore. I think it's this one that I needed to do. But anyways, as a scoring system, and basically it'll give you a scoring, like a rating from 0 to 99. The higher the score, the better chance of success is kind of the way they look at it. So you can filter those, and you can immediately look at the stronger scores. That way you know which ones might have the better chance for success for you. Let's go ahead and open though. I'll open that. That's not what I wanted there. I wanted this. Okay, I'm going to make sure that we open up in JCPR. Chart. There we go. Let's not do the clean chart though. Let's look at the other one. The filtering indicators. Okay. To do that, to make sure you open up in the correct template, and if you don't want to have to apply it or change it, you come over to the chart tab, go to apply template, and make sure you select the template you want first, and then you can open up the chart from your results page, and it'll open up into that template there. Let's just open up this one right here. All right, so here we are. Did I scan for? Yep, I did. So here's what we have basically. What we've had was a reversal pattern. You know, it was a reversal pattern. It's continuing to fall below the support lines, which is good. That's confirmation there. And so you can basically look at that as a confirming trade. It did confirm. You can see the, you know, the resistance and the different things right there, the different lines, support and resistance lines. Overall, the trend is still bullish, though. I think that kind of goes against it. You probably want to find something with a bearish trend. But that's kind of what the scans look like, right? You'll pick that up there. You can see the different types of the patterns on the chart as well. And that's pretty much it for that add-on. We do have a manual, so if you wanted to see more information, I could send a manual over to you. Just feel free to let me know. There's more information about that. So ultimately, that was the add-on. Again, it was a $400 add-on. We included it into MetaStock 20, along with all the other awesome changes that we've made or enhancements for MetaStock 20. What we went over was the enhanced power console. We got rid of the floating window. You can now save the power, or you can save, or the layouts are much easier because you don't have the power console. That's what I meant. We have the improved charting functions like the fractions, the simplified fractions for futures. We've improved QuoteCenter and OptionScope. You can now save those as a part of your layout, which is better for analysis overall. It streamlines things, makes things easier, cleaner, better. We've also integrated XENITH and MetaStock more. So now you can open up your news, your overview pages, things like that within MetaStock software, which I like a lot. It just saves me a lot of time. I can just focus on using MetaStock only instead of two different software. It just makes things a lot easier, especially when trading. And then we've added the Greg Morris Japanese candle pattern recognition, which was again a $400 add-on. Plus, we've added offline mode for MetaStock RT users. So if you have another data source, you can connect it or not connect it. You can actually read local data with MetaStock RT, which was a big ask as well. Great upgrade. Prices will vary on the upgrade. It depends on if you're on RT or MetaStock DC, which version you do have. Reach out to me and I can help you out with the prices. We do have a discount running right now, $50 off. So if you like what you see, let me know, give me a call, send me an email, whatever you want. Let's see if there's any, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let me, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, please save my information. I appreciate you watching. It is a much quicker webinar. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. You guys have a good day ahead.